Welcome back, Goodhue County Republicans. So last time we had a video about caucus and conventions. It was January of 2024, and we just kind of went over the whole 2-year cycle. So this video is going to be talking more about what happens on the second year, the odd years, or years ending in an odd number. So again, here's kind of the breakdown of kind of like the structure. Everything starts in the grassroots at the precinct caucus, and then from there we choose people to represent our little area to go up to the county unit, and then from there to the congressional unit, and then the state, and then finally the national. And that's just kind of the overview of that. So here's again overview of the first two, or of the 2-year cycle, the whole thing. So it starts at precinct caucus, and from there we get people to go to the county BPOU. The same individuals go to the legislative endorsing. So the first year is all about endorsing candidates for the upcoming general election. The second year, which is where we find ourselves here, is all about selecting leadership. So the same people who were elected the precinct caucus to represent their area at the county are again coming back to the county convention, usually in January or February of an odd year. The same people who were elected back here originally and the first year at the county convention to represent our county, Goodhue, to CD1, they come back, and now again we have another CD1 convention that will elect leadership instead of doing an endorsement. We can also, of course, at any convention review the Constitution as well that governs our party. All right, so here's an overview of conventions. We kind of talked about it. There's the BPOU convention, the Congressional District Convention. So everything starts at caucus. We have the BPOU and the CD1, and these are the dates for currently for this year. We also have state central conventions. They're more of a leadership meeting. However, since there's so many people, they're oftentimes called a convention, and they meet twice a year. So here again is just another breakdown of what happens during caucus and conventions for the 2-year cycle. This is the first year precinct. Then you go to your different BPOUs, the endorsing convention and the BPOU county convention. For some places they're combined. Some places we have them split up, just depending upon the borders and whatnot, and how many other BPOUs are included in a Senate district or a House district for endorsements. So now then you go over to the CD, the state, and then the federal. So now again, here's the precinct. So if you're chosen the precinct at caucus to represent your area, you're back again at the county convention. And here we'll be then choosing leadership for the executive party of the county and the voting members that make up the BPOU monthly meeting. We're also going to elect people to go to the central committee for CD1. They meet in person every other month, and on Zoom the rest. And then also we're going to elect people to go to the state central for the Constitution and for leadership and different things. It's more of there's the nitty-gritty stuff. So that's that. And then if you were again elected back in the first year to represent Goodhue County at CD1, we come to the CD1 convention. And now instead of doing endorsing, we elect people who are going to lead CD1, the executive team, the chair and whatnot. And also we're going to elect a person to represent CD1 to the state executive team. So again, everything is about leadership, and these leadership roles are a 2-year term. So delegates and alternates, roles and responsibilities. You're elected to represent your area to a larger group meeting. Be informed, accessible, consistent, and principled. Who can vote? Delegates. If there's an open seat, then an alternate will be seated. Once seated, they have equal voting power to delegates. Cross-seating occurs when an alternate helps fill vacancies from a neighboring area. And all of the cross-seating and whatnot will be declared in the rules of the convention. So here's another picture that I got from someone, and it kind of explains things in another flowchart way. So again, here's kind of back to where we started, and here we go. So we are on the Goodhue County Convention page. So here's year 2, and years ending in odd numbers, we elect party officers in an odd-numbered years. That's the executive board. So the executive board for our Goodhue County is the chair, deputy chair, deputy treasurer, secretary, communications chair, and finance chair. The voting members to the central committee include BPOU, kind of like voting members are delegates from their local commissioner district. So each commissioner district in our county gets 3 delegates to go to our monthly meetings, our central committee. Also, people with voting members are the reps to the CD, or the delegates, not the alternates, but the delegates to CD1 central meeting, and also the delegates to the state central. So delegates to the judicial district, we elect them, but they're not voting members. And then also what also can happen is amending the BPOU constitution. So here's kind of some positions that are elected during the county convention. We kind of went through them before, but so BPO executive team, it's 7 positions. They're elected for a 2-year term. All of these positions are elected for a 2-year term. Chair, deputy, chair, treasurer, we already went through them all. So they meet once a month as an executive team, and their responsibilities for organizing the monthly full committee BPOU meeting, combined 2 meetings a month. So usually they have to commit to 2 meetings a month, the executive meeting and then the central meeting, the BPOU monthly meeting. This team is responsible to ensure the essential tasks of the BPOU is carried out. The executive team serves at the behest of the body. So the BPOU Central Committee delegates are chosen. These are 3 delegates from each commissioner district for a total of 15 to represent their specific area at the monthly BPOU meeting, 1 meeting per month. Responsibilities to carry out the main objectives of the BPOU, which is to promote Republican principles platforms, recruit candidates, and elect Republicans, or get Republicans elected. So CD1 Central Committee delegate. We get 2 delegates and 2 alternates to represent us at the CD1 Central Committee meeting. We meet in person on the odd months and via Zoom on the even months. Responsibilities are to represent Goodhue County Republicans at the central meetings and help carry out the functions and responsibilities of conducting Republican business, recruit and elect Republicans, the platform, promotion, and across the congressional district. So, State Central Committee, 3 delegates, 6 alternates. Sometimes this number changes according to how many people voted in the last presidential or governor election. But currently, and so far as we know, it is 3 delegates and 6 alternates to represent Goodhue County Republicans at the state leadership meeting. They meet twice a year usually, provide oversight, vote on key party issues, recruit, and get Republicans elected across the state. And they elect executive leadership at the December meeting on even years. So we just had the state exec here in December, and we elected new leadership for the next 2 years. So, Judicial District 1. Again, these are not voting members at our monthly meetings. However, this is a very important job to bring back information of what's going on. So, Judicial District 1 is the judicial district we're in. We get 2 delegates and 2 alternates to each of their meetings. They meet once a month to promote constitutional conservatism in the judicial system, recruit and elect constitutional judges. So here we are with the various convention committees. So putting on a convention is a lot of work, and so there's various committees and different things that people can do to kind of help out and volunteer. This is for a local all the way on up to national. So basically there's always a nominations committee whose job it is to kind of help the candidates figure out how to run. They kind of help figure out the whole process, help the candidates figure out the process, go through the process, and all of that jazz. And then they are deemed qualified or not qualified. How it should be is that the only time that you're unqualified is if you don't live in the area, because there's like, okay, what qualifies you to run, and you meet those qualifications, which basically means, at least here in Goodhue County, is if you live in the district. So then the other committee is agenda and rules. So this committee creates the agenda and the rules, at least the temporary ones, they are then modified if the body chooses at the convention, and then once all changes or recommended changes have gone through, then the body will ratify them. And once ratified, then it takes a 2/3 majority to change said rules or agenda. So usually it's just fine, but sometimes there can be issues too. So each convention is ruled by the body. So these are just some initial rules trying to put in place some sort of measures. So Constitutional Committee. Oftentimes when everyone meets together, that's when we can make constitutional changes. So this is a committee that kind of reviews the Constitution, gets it in compliance, because Goodhue County has to be in compliance with the CD1 and has to be in compliance with state and federal constitutions, or the national constitution. So here we go. So then the credentialing registration, they register the guests, alternates, delegates, and give the numbers so we can have accurate vote counts. So who can vote? Delegates and then seated alternates. So once we go through the delegates, we find the missing people, and then the alternates are seated. And once you're seated, then you can vote. Let's see. So BPOU county conventions, when conducting business, Goodhue County Republicans group together via commissioner districts. So cross-sitting is allowed amongst precincts within your commissioner district. Goodhue County BPOU, yeah. So we're one of kind of two counties that do it this way. And the idea is that it then spreads out influence and ideas throughout the county instead of just being focused in one area that has high turnout. So you get a whole county perspective. So these are our commissioner districts, and we are seated via commissioner districts. All right, so here is kind of Goodhue County leadership breakdown. So we have the BPOU voting members. We meet once a month, and it's a 2-year term. So we have an executive team that kind of does, they just kind of get things going and stuff. And we create the agenda and really get the nuts and bolts going. And then there's the central committee. It's made up of 3 delegates from each commissioner district. The delegates is CD1 and state central. And then voting members at large. So sometimes there's overlap, or there's a position that got open. Someone moved or something happened, life happens. So there's an opening. So then we have voting members at large that fill those openings. They're appointed by the chair and confirmed by the body, by the whole voting members. So again, there's non-voting members who oftentimes come to give reports and let people know what's going on. These are the JD1 delegates and alternates and the action committee chairs. So BPOU county conventions, the leadership positions, there's the chair, which kind of runs the monthly leadership meetings, facilitates in the coordination and smooth running of the BPOU as a whole. Deputy chair assists in the nuts and bolts of the group and fills in for the chair as needed. The treasurer does the financial reporting and accounting for the Goodhue County Republican Party. The deputy treasurer assists the treasurer with financial tasks. A lot of their job also is PCRs, tracking, and getting that paperwork out to people. Communications chair, database and social media management, works to relay information to area Republicans, reports needed information to CD1 and state party officials, and so forth. Secretary records meeting minutes. Finance chair works to raise funds through PCRs and fundraising events. So BPOU convention, central committee, delegates, and alternate positions. So this is the rest of the voting members. All positions are a 2-year commitment, and delegates from the following are voting members of the BPOU monthly meeting. BPOU, the local Republican unit, 3 from each commissioner district, meets monthly. CD1 meets monthly, odd months in person, even months in via Zoom. State Central meets twice a year, usually late spring and December. They're elected at the BPOU conventions from odd years. The state central members elect party leadership at the December meeting in the even years. JD1, again, is the Judicial District 1, meets monthly. This group works to find constitutional judges and help them run for office. So now we're back here and we're talking about CD1. So we're done with the Goodhue County. That was done. So now we're here at the CD1 convention, not to be confused with CD1 exec team or central committee, but we're here at the CD1 convention. The people who go here were first elected back in the first year of of the cycle at the county BPOU convention. So, positions elected at the 1st Congressional District Convention, CD1. CD1 executive leaders are elected. There's 4 positions. There's the chair, deputy chair, secretary, and treasurer. They're responsible for organizing the bi-monthly Central Committee CD1 meeting. This team is responsible for ensuring the essential tasks of the CD1 Republican unit is carried out, such as the promotion of the Republican platform, recruitment of candidates, and get Republicans elected throughout CD1. Senate district chairs, CD1 executive team. So when we're at the CD1 convention, we break up into Senate districts, and everyone there talks amongst each other and votes in a chair and an alternate. And so these people then join in with the executive leadership team, and they help represent their Senate district to CD1 as a whole. So then CD1, we also elect one representative to represent CD1 up at the state executive level. So one representative is elected to promote the interests of CD1 at the state executive board monthly meetings. Responsibilities include liaison between CD1 and state, relay pertinent information, help with the duties of state exec, such as the promotion of party principles and platforms, fundraising, recruit candidates, and help get Republicans elected statewide. So now we have the Congressional District Convention, year 2. They also may amend Constitution at that time, elect leaders, CD exec, chair, secretary, treasurer, CD rep, rep to state exec. So here it is again, the kind of a breakdown of everything. We have the CD1 leadership breakdown, Central Committee, Exec Committee. Let's see, we have the Exec Committee, 2 delegates from every county in CD1, at least 2 ranked alternates elected at county conventions, 1 delegate from each of CD1's recognized affiliates, such as Minnesota Federation of Women or Young Republicans. So affiliates, these are affiliate groups. They get 1 delegate from throughout the whole congressional district. So that's the Central Committee. That's like the large committee. Within the Central Committee is also the Executive Committee, the smaller group. It's about 19 members. So it's all officer chairs, such as deputy chair, deputy chair, secretary, treasurer, state exec, rep. And then the appointed members, such as the finance chair and elections vice chair. And then immediate past chair is non-voting, but is there for continuity. And then Senate district chairs and alternates, there's 11 total. They're elected at the CD1 convention. So that's what we were just talking about, how you break up into Senate districts. All right, so that's basically the end of that. We have the PDF, so you can go through it, look through it. Feel free to reach out to us anytime, and we can ask whatever questions you may have. Also, there's a constitution and bylaws that govern each level. So go to our website. You can find our constitution. Which is here, gcgop.us.com, Goodhue County GOP. So that's Goodhue County Republicans. Their CD1 has a constitution. The state party the Republicans have a constitution. So again, there's lots of information out there, and feel free to contact us with any questions. All right, have a good day. Bye.